Watch a lion run. Now imagine it's running away from the sound of a person saying hello. That's not a nature trick. That's the single most surprising thing scientists have found in the wild in years. And here's the answer before you even get comfortable. The scariest sound on Earth, to almost every wild animal, isn't a roar or a gunshot. It's the human voice. It's you, just talking, not screaming, not hunting. The exact sound you'll make tonight asking somebody to pass the salt. And they've now tested this on 3 different continents, and it keeps landing the same way. Nothing empties the wild faster than the sound of people having a normal conversation. I know how that sounds. A leopard should beat a dinner chat. So stick with me, because I'm going to show you the exact experiment, the real numbers, and one animal at the end that broke every rule I'm about to teach you. That last part is the one you'll be thinking about tomorrow. Picture a waterhole in South Africa. Kruger. Dry season, heat that bends the air, and every animal for miles needs this one puddle to live. A husband and wife research team, Liana Zanette and Michael Clinchy, buried speakers in the bushes around it and waited to see what would send the wild running. First, they played lions, real ones, low, snarling, hungry, the most feared thing on that entire landscape, and the animals reacted, ears up, bodies stiff, a few backed off. Then they played us. Not soldiers, not guns, just people talking. Calm, casual, the kind of chatter you'd hear waiting in line for coffee. And the place came apart. Here's the number that stopped me cold. Across nearly every species they tested, about 95% of them, the animals ran more, and ran sooner, from the human voices than from the lions. Roughly twice as likely to bolt, and they gave up that life or death water about 40% faster when they heard us. Elephants, animals that will square up to a whole pride and win, turned and left, because they heard people talking. Sit with that, the lion, the king, the face on every kid's jungle poster. It's the runner-up, we beat it, just by opening our mouths. Now here's where it stops being one weird waterhole. Same idea, opposite side of the planet. California mountains, mountain lions, pumas, 150 pounds of coiled ambush. Researchers waited until a puma made a kill, its own food that it fought for, then played a human just talking nearby. More than 8 out of 10 times, the puma walked off its own dinner, left it lying in the dirt, and the ones that crept back ate less and kept flinching, like the meal wasn't worth the company. They ran it on badgers in England too. Same story. Animals that ignored the sound of bears froze at the sound of us. Deer, rabbits, big cats, little critters, 3 continents, one answer that keeps showing up. The scariest sound in the wild isn't a growl. It's a person going, "Hey, hand me that." So why? Why would a real, working killing machine be less frightening than a guy on a phone call? And here's where most videos just shrug and say, because humans are scary, and move on. That's not an answer. So let's actually crack it open, and stay with me, because the number that flipped this for me is 30 seconds away. The word the researchers use is super predator. That's not a flex, that's a measurement. And to feel it, you have to understand how hunting normally works. A wolf pack doesn't chase the strong elk. It picks the limping one, the old one, the sick one. Why? Because a healthy adult elk can stomp a wolf flat. So nature runs on a hidden break. Predators take the easy targets, the strong ones survive and breed, the herd rolls on. That break has kept the whole system balanced for millions of years. We walked in and ripped it off. Here's that number. One major study measured how often different predators kill fully grown in their prime adults. The strong ones nothing else dares touch. Humans do it at rates up to 14 times higher than any other predator. 14. We don't wait for the weak one. We go for the biggest, the best, the one with the trophy antlers. And we do it from 100 yards out. No teeth, no claws, never once in real danger ourselves. Now stand where the animal stands. To a puma, another puma is a rival. Dangerous, but readable. A bear's a threat, but a known one. A human is the thing that makes animals simply vanish and doesn't even breathe hard doing it. And here's the brutal part. The animals that lived long enough to have babies were the ones who learned to run from us early, so that fear got passed down. Kid to kid, generation after generation, the wild's been drilling one rule louder than all the rest. You hear the ones that talk, you go. Don't wait to find out why. Now watch this flip. You'd figure an animal has to get burned first, right? Get shot at, chased, learn the hard way. But a lot of these animals live in protected parks, reserves, places where humans have mostly just watched, taken photos, rolled past in a jeep. And they're still scared stiff. That tells you this isn't one bad memory. It's deeper than memory. It's in the blood. We've been the planet's deadliest hunter so long that run from the human voice is now as automatic as yanking your hand off a hot stove. You don't decide it. Your body moves before your brain catches up. Theirs does the same. And here's what I can't shake. We don't feel scary. You're probably somewhere comfy right now, worried about your phone battery, not about being eaten. We feel soft, small. We're the species that sleeps with a nightlight and screams at a spider the size of a nickel. Meanwhile, out there, a 900-pound animal hears us giggling on a hiking trail and its heart slams like it just saw a ghost. We're the ghost. We just never catch ourselves in the mirror. Now, let me show you something bigger than one scared deer, because this fear reshapes the actual land. Zanette's team calls it the landscape of fear, and once you see it, you'll spot it everywhere. Picture a green hillside next to a river. Perfect grazing. The best food for miles. But it sits near a road where people talk and cars pass. So the animals just stop going there. Too scary. They crowd onto worse ground, eat less, keep their babies hidden and hungry. Now watch the dominoes. That abandoned hillside grows wild and overgrown. The insects that lived on the grazed grass disappear. The birds that ate those insects move on. One patch of earth, redrawn top to bottom, and not one animal was ever actually touched. Just the sound of us was enough. So our voice isn't spooking one animal, it's quietly redrawing the map of nature in the very places we call protected. And keep that hillside in your head, because in a minute I'm going to show you the one creature that walked toward that scary sound instead of away from it, and it changed everything. Real quick, a question, and I actually want your gut answer in the comments. I read them. Picture yourself on a quiet trail in some national park, and it hits you. Every animal within half a mile can hear you, and every single one is more afraid of you than of any predator alive. Does that make you feel powerful or a little alone? Because I bounce between the two, and I still don't know the honest answer. Now let me be fair, because if I stopped at the scary version, I'd be doing the exact thing I can't stand. This same fear that unsettles me might be one of the best rescue tools we've ever tripped over. Teams are already testing it. If you can scare an endangered animal off a deadly highway or away from where poachers wait, using nothing but a recording of people chatting, no fences, no darts, no traps, you might save its life with a cheap speaker in a bush. The thing that terrifies them could become the thing that guards them. And here's the animal I promised you, the one that broke the rule. The dog crashed out at your feet, the cat judging you from the windowsill. They didn't lose the fear by accident. Way back, a few wolves and a few wildcats made a bet the rest of the wild never dared to make. They looked at the terrifying two-legged thing, the ghost, the super predator, the sound everything else runs from, and thought, maybe that one's worth trusting. They walked toward the scary voice instead of away from it. And that single gamble is the whole reason something runs to greet you when you walk through the door. So the most frightening sound in the wild is also the sound your dog sprints toward the second you get home. Same voice, same species, two completely different endings, both decided thousands of years ago around a fire we can't even remember. That's the one that stays with me. We spend our whole lives feeling like nature's underdog, fragile, hairless, slow, jumpy, and maybe that's exactly why the truth is so hard to swallow. From their side, we were never the underdog. We were the storm they learned to watch the sky for, the quiet thing that talks and takes and just walks away fine. And I don't fully know what to do with that. Guilt? Awe? Maybe just staying awake to it is enough. So here's what I'll leave you with. Next time you're out somewhere wild and it goes still around you, that quiet isn't empty. That's 100 animals holding their breath. Because the most dangerous thing they've ever known just walked in, and it's making the one sound they were all born fearing. You. If this messed with how you hear your own voice even a little, stick around. The next one's stranger. Because there's a sound we make that does the exact opposite. It calms wild animals right down, and barely anyone can explain why. I'll see you there. But before you go, powerful or alone, I told you I don't have my answer yet, so give me yours. I'll be down in the comments, reading every single one.